You are the most powerful ruler on earth. Millions obey your word. But inside your golden palace, a whisper is poisoning your mind, and you are about to order the execution of your own son. This is your life. You are Suleiman, a young Ottoman prince born in Trabzon. You are trained to be a warrior, to wield the heavy scimitar and master the laws. Your father, Selim the Grim, is a brutal conqueror who shows you no mercy. You learn early that trust is a luxury a prince cannot afford. You spend your youth preparing for the ultimate test, dreaming of carving your name into history. In the autumn of 1520, your father Selim dies. You ride to Constantinople, ascending the throne as the 10th Sultan of the empire. You are young, ambitious, and ready to reform the world. You appoint your childhood friend Ibrahim as the Grand Vizier. Ibrahim is a Greek slave, but to you, he is a brother. You share your meals, your secrets, and your dreams of conquest. Together, you manage the complex affairs of the empire, building a new administration. But in the Ottoman court, proximity to the Sultan is the most dangerous place to be. You lead your armies into the heart of Europe. You capture the fortress of Belgrade, shattering the Christian defenses. You besiege the island of Rhodes, forcing the proud knights to surrender. The world begins to speak your name with terror, calling you the Magnificent. Your empire stretches across 3 continents, and your fleet dominates the seas. Ibrahim is always by your side, leading the vanguard and negotiating treaties. You reward his loyalty with absolute power, making him the commander of all armies. But in the shadows of your harem, a new force is rising to challenge everything. A young slave girl from Ukraine is brought to your harem. You call her Hurrem, the laughing one, and she immediately captivates your heart. You break centuries of tradition, freeing her and making her your legal wife. She is the first Hasiki Sultan, the mother of your younger princes. Your love for her is obsessive, writing romantic poetry under a pen name. Hurrem becomes your closest advisor, sharing your political thoughts. But Hurrem knows that to protect her children, she must eliminate all rivals. She looks at Ibrahim Pasha, the Grand Vizier who supports Prince Mustafa. Hurrem begins to whisper in your ear about Ibrahim's growing arrogance. She shows you reports of how Ibrahim called himself the Sultan of the military. The seeds of doubt are planted in your mind. You start to notice how the soldiers respect his command above yours. The paranoia, inherited from your father, begins to grow. You look at your closest friend, and you no longer see a brother. You try to ignore the whispers, but the evidence of his pride is everywhere. You prepare the final feast, a dinner that will end a brotherhood. You invite Ibrahim to a private dinner at the Topkapi Palace. You talk about the old days, laughing and sharing wine. But you had no idea what was coming next. The empire demands order, and your word is absolute law. After the dinner, Ibrahim retires to his sleeping quarters, feeling safe. In the dead of night, 4 silent executioners enter his room. Ibrahim fights for his life, his screams echoing through the stone corridors. You lie awake in your bed, listening to the struggle, but you do not stop it. By morning, the body of the Grand Vizier is carried out in secret. You have sacrificed your best friend to protect your absolute power. The whispers do not stop. They only shift their target to your son, Mustafa. Your eldest son Mustafa is growing into a legendary warrior. He is intelligent, brave, and loved by the soldiers of the empire. The Janissaries look at him, and they see the future of the dynasty. Mustafa proves his ability to rule as governor of Amasya. But in Istanbul, Hurrem is watching his rise with dread. She knows that if Mustafa becomes sultan, her own sons will be executed. She unites with Rustam Pasha to orchestrate Mustafa's downfall. They feed your paranoia, telling you that Mustafa is getting too close to the army. You remember how your father Selim overthrew his own father. The terrifying shadow of the past falls upon your relationship with your son. Rustam Pasha brings you forged letters showing Mustafa communicating with Persia. The letters suggest an alliance, a plan to force you to abdicate. You look at the signature of your son, and your heart turns to stone. The paranoia takes complete control. You believe your son is preparing a rebellion. You decide to lead a campaign, ordering Mustafa to join you at Eregli. You want to look into his eyes before you execute the final judgment. You believe you are protecting the state from civil war, but you are about to destroy the finest prince of the dynasty. Mustafa arrives at the military camp in Eregli. His advisors warn him of the danger, begging him not to enter your tent. But Mustafa believes in his innocence and his love for his father. He walks past the cheering soldiers and steps inside your royal tent. You are not there. Instead, 7 silent executioners emerge. Mustafa realizes the trap and struggles fiercely, calling your name. You are standing behind the curtain, watching the struggle in silence. You point your finger, ordering the executioners to hasten their work. The black silk cord is placed around his neck. The struggle ends. The body of the prince is placed outside the tent for the army to see. The execution of Mustafa shatters the empire. The soldiers mutiny. Your younger sons, Bayezid and Selim, begin a bloody civil war. You look at the ruins of your family, and you realize the truth. Hurrem is dead. Ibrahim is gone. Mustafa is buried. You are surrounded by servants, but you are completely alone. The paranoia has cleaned out everything you ever loved. You spend your days reading the Quran, searching for peace. You walk through the empty gardens, haunted by the ghosts of the past. You are the magnificent, but you are just an old man, waiting for the end. In the summer of 1566, you lead your last campaign in Hungary. You are 71 years old, weak and unable to ride a horse, but you want to die as a warrior on the battlefield. You besiege the fortress of Sigitvar, but your body is failing. Inside your royal tent, surrounded by cannons, you draw your last breath. Your death is kept secret for 48 days to prevent panic. Your heart is buried in Hungary, and your body is returned to Istanbul. You achieved ultimate glory. You expanded the empire to its limits, but you died in a silent room, far from anyone who knew your name. You escaped your enemies, but you could not escape the judgment of history, and now you are history.